Hey guys, Ginelle here. Welcome back to my channel, and in today's video we are talking about breastfeeding and how hard this is.
Ginelle is not my name, and if you must know, it's a statement, bitch!
Now, here's the thing, I feel like either women say how super easy it is and oh, they just pop a titty and then it's all good, or it's super challenging and women don't make it past a couple weeks. First of all, it does hurt. I'm pretty sure it hurts for everybody, but eventually your nipple gets adjusted to the pain so it stops hurting. But that's not the case for everybody. There were quite a few challenges specifically catered to me and that I had that other women may not have had, and some of these challenges could have been a reason for me to quit, but I said, you know what, this is something I wanted to do, and I stuck to it, and here we are today. So unfortunately my son had anterior tongue tie, posterior tongue tie, upper lip tie, lower lip tie. He had them all, so it made breastfeeding very challenging. He was not pulling out enough milk. Great. When I first had him, it looked like he was. The lactation consultant at the hospital was like, oh, he's doing so good, but realistically they were of no help to me. I was pregnant during a pandemic. I couldn't even go take a breastfeeding class. So fortunately for me, I was able to sign up online for as much as I could, and at least I had a little bit of knowledge. So when the lady at the hospital tried to tell me everything was perfect, I already knew that stuff wasn't right. What I ended up doing when I got home, I got frustrated. I couldn't get the kid to eat it. He went hours. He was fighting. He was arching his back. He was angry. I ended up pumping. Day 3, my milk came in. I started pumping, and I started giving him a bottle just because I really didn't know what was going on. And then I remembered that I had a nipple shield. Thank God for that. And that is the way that my baby learned to effectively pull enough milk for him to gain weight. The nipple shield was an extreme blessing for me, but at the same time it was irritating because I could not feed my baby without it. So I had ordered multiple sets. They were all over the house. I was losing them in the bed. I was losing them in the couch, and it got really frustrated. I wanted to be able to breastfeed him without using a nipple shield, and that in terms took me to a periodontal specialist to find out about getting his ties revised. Once he got his ties clipped, the breastfeeding experience completely changed. I am now one of those women who can say that, oh, it doesn't hurt anymore, thank God. I really was considering just pumping and stopping because honestly it was really, really complicated. I've also been pretty fortunate. My supply is pretty good. I haven't had any issues with clogged ducts or mastitis or any of that. That's a whole nother struggle in itself. Some of you ladies suffer with cracked nipples and bleeding and trash. So for me and my son and my goals and the fact that I have to go back to work, it was very important for me to build my supply. So from the very beginning, I've always pumped every night, made sure he got a bottle so he would be used to bottle feeding, give my mother and my husband an opportunity to bond with him and feed him. And then I can also build up my stash. I got a deep freezer halfway full. I'm feeling myself right now. You can't tell me nothing. There's so many things that they tell you about breastfeeding. Oh, don't start pumping super early. Oh, don't give them the bottle. There's nipple confusion and blah, blah, blah. Honestly, I don't really think there's nipple confusion. I personally feel if you introduce the baby to whatever, they're going to take what they like and take what they don't. But at the end of the day, it's all about consistency. So when I started, when I got his ties revised and I didn't need the nipple shield anymore, he didn't want a nurse. He was used to the nipple shield. So the kid was on strike. But after maybe a day or two of fighting with him for 10 minutes on and off and keep trying, he just stopped, and that was it. Sometimes you gotta let him cry and fight with him. It's okay, he'll be fine. But I feel it's not a thing. I don't think nipple confusion is a thing. My son is not a baby that takes a pacifier. He is not picky with bottles. I had a multitude of different brands and types because I didn't just order bottles. I got a bottle sample kit that had different kinds, and he took whatever I gave him. It wasn't even a question. He drank from whatever bottle he was given. He's not the kind of baby who needs to feed to soothe, and I think that also has a lot to do with the fact that I don't just pop a boob in whenever he cries. I know he's hungry every 3.5 to 4 hours, and if it's before that, I will always go through the process of what he may need before I just pop a titty in his mouth, because I cannot afford to be a human pacifier, because I personally don't have time for that. Like I said, I'm going back to work soon, and I can't have him just attached 24/7. No, no, no. So I just make sure like he's dry, he's happy, we cuddle, and he's usually fine. I know when he's hungry, and that's when he eats. So there's this whole thing about like breastfeeding and formula, and here's the thing, like, of course breast is best, it's catered to your baby, but at the same time I think fed is the most important thing. Like, mamas, don't feel discouraged or stressed out because you're having issues with breastfeeding. Do keep in mind that although that it is hard, it is challenging, and there are many different obstacles that you may have to overcome. Like, if you're dedicated, you can make it happen. If you are like positive that this is something that you want to do, absolutely possible for you to be able to breastfeed. Like, you just gotta keep trying. I think another thing is, like, a lot of the times, like, us as mamas, we're just not educated on what is a necessity for your baby. Like, we're out here supplementing with formula because we're worried the baby's not getting enough. Oh, they're crying, they're not getting enough. How do you know they're not getting enough? The only way you can really tell is by output in their diapers. So like, I knew he wasn't getting enough because he really wasn't peeing as much as he should have. And when I took him in on his 3rd day checkup, he had lost well over the amount of weight he should have. So that's how I knew he wasn't getting enough. But I opted to pump and to give him breast milk. Before my milk did come in, I did give him 1 bottle of formula, and that's all he's ever had, and I really don't plan on it. If that's what you do, then hey, the baby eating, they good, you know. I had to keep in mind that they're new babies, they're in new settings, they're out here in this bright world that they're not used to. Of course they're gonna cry, of course they're gonna be upset. Babies only need such a small amount of milk or colostrum or whatever that is in the very beginning. Don't just think like, oh, my baby's crying, they're hungry. That's not what it means. And your mama and them and your auntie and them might be like, oh, that baby's hungry. Listen, girl, okay, you're figuring out your body, you and your baby are learning each other, and the doctor will tell you, hey, they're not getting enough. Go pump, sis. They don't need the formula. They don't. It could be something you're eating. Work through your diet, because at the end of the day, you can figure out if you have a daily thing. You can figure out if your baby have a dairy thing and take that out your diet. Or you can go out and spend mad money on this formula and they could still have a sensitivity to it. So it's kind of just easier and more cost effective if you figure it out on your own. Now, another thing with breastfeeding that everybody is so obsessed about is the amount of milk that they're producing. Like, I personally produce, I don't think I'm an overproducer, but I think I produce a lot. Now at 5 months, I'm getting 5 to 6 ounces per boob per pump session. I only pump once a day at night to build my stash. That's it. I nurse him throughout the day, and then he'll have 1 bottle at nighttime. When he was smaller, I started out making like 2 ounces per breast, and then it gradually increased based on the needs of my baby. So he's taking more, my breasts are going to produce more. I was using all of these supplements to help with milk supply and lactation support and all that. And I really was just sitting here like, okay, does this stuff really work? Does it? Because I'm not sure. And now I stopped everything and I'm still making the same amount. And I think the most important thing about breastfeeding is demand and supply. The more you pull out, the more your body's going to make. You need to stay hydrated and you need to make sure that you eat. Now, another thing, honey, they told me, oh, when you breastfeed, you're going to lose weight. After like 2.5 weeks, I dropped all my baby weight. But here was a problem. Everybody was like, yeah, you need 500 extra calories, all these extra calories. Make lactation cookies. Here's this recipe for these delicious lactation brownies. And here I am thinking, okay, every time I breastfeed, I need to have a snack. Yeah, I gained back like 10 pounds. Listen, don't let people tell you it's a lie. It's not true. You're gonna gain weight, sis. And a whole bunch of people are out here eating all these snacks and these goodies, and they're not really necessary. I'm telling you, the only thing that I do now is have my regular 3 meals a day with, I try to have healthy snacks, I try to eat healthy, I try to eat my veggies and greens, and I drink a lot of water. And my supply has not decreased, it has not changed based on what I've been eating. It's basically what he's been pulling out. I have a goal, and my goal for my breastfeeding journey is to make it to a year. I have a job that requires me to be away for days at a time, so I know that it's going to be hard because pumping itself is hard. It's hard. I have a Freemie pump. It is portable and it will allow me to pump on the go, but when you're in and out of different cities and towns and stuff, it's kind of hard to keep up. Like I said, I nurse 4 times a day, I pump once a day. So that means that when I am not home and I'm away from my baby, in order for me to keep my supply the same, I'm going to have to pump 5 times a day. Now, I can space it out and try to get it done, but it's like I said, it's hard to do when you have to go in like a bathroom and wash your pumps out, or you're on an airplane and you have to do all this stuff. Like, it makes it really complicated. So I already have a feeling that once I do go back to work, my supply is gonna drop a little bit. It is what it is. I think I'm gonna go back when he's around 9 months, so I have plenty stored up to get us through a year. And if I can hold on where he can still at least get something here or there, like, that'd be great. My goal is a year. If I get to like a year and change, I'm okay with that. I think the other thing that people don't think about is cluster feeding. Babies are growing. Like, sometimes they need more, and it's okay, like, for them to be feeding all the time. That does not mean that they're not getting enough from you. That means that they're triggering your body to make more for them. Breastfeeding is a task, y'all, and that's how I commend y'all who co-sleep. I'm not with it at all, because let's be real, like, some babies nurse all night long for comfort. If I was dangling your favorite treat in your face all night long, you're gonna want to eat it too. I don't do that. My baby sleeps in his crib and he sleeps through the night, so I could not. So I commend all you mamas. But really quickly before we go, I have to show you guys what I have. It's my first Mother's Day, and I got this super cute necklace right here. Take a look at that. It's Babe's name, and I am absolutely in love and obsessed. If you want to get your hands on one of these cute little necklaces, you could get a nameplate for yourself. You can get a nameplate for your baby. I got one for my baby with a charm. You can get anything, different finishes, different colors. You want to make sure you take it off before you sleep, before you shower, before you put on any perfumes or anything like that. You want to keep it away from chemicals, excess sweat. You don't want to go work out with this on. You want to keep it looking shiny and pretty. And you know, you just keep it clean with this little thing right here, this little cloth, and you keep it in its little dust bag, and it'll stay perfectly nice and shiny for you. I do have a link of where you can get your own down below. Make sure you guys check it out. This will also be a great gift. If you guys have any questions about my experience, that's all I can say, my experience, because I can't tell you what you've been through, or like any struggles that you had during breastfeeding, or anything you may want to know about my situation, ask me down below. I would love to know about your journey. I want to know how long you lasted for, and I want to know what your goal was. But in the meantime, thank you guys so much for watching. We're figuring this out together. Happy Mother's Day. Titty power. And if breastfeeding is your goal, mama, don't give up. Just be consistent and keep trying. I did it throughout the struggles. You can do it throughout yours. I'll catch you guys in my next video.